In a palm leaf hut by the river in Dong Thap, Vietnam, people once came seeking medicine and charms, believing there lived a kind, benevolent master. But when the mysterious graves were unearthed, when 3 human skulls rolled out from beneath the floor, the entire countryside was stunned to realize it had all been a disguise for a cold-blooded killer. Join Mr. Bin's story as we uncover today's case from Vietnam. He didn't just kill, he killed to practice a terrifying dark ritual called Tien Linh Khai. This wasn't only one of Vietnam's most shocking cases of the 1990s. It was a warning about the horrific cost of blind faith and superstition. Who was he? Why did women keep disappearing? And what is Tien Linh Khai really? Follow me as we turn back the pages of the case file and step into the darkness of one of the most horrifying crimes in history, the shaman Hai Tung, the murderer who killed for Tien Linh Khai. Today's story is about fear, superstition, and a man who convinced an entire community that he was no longer just human. He was a sorcerer, someone who could heal the sick, cast love spells, and even make himself bulletproof. This is the case of Pham Van Tuan, known by the chilling name Hai Tung. A scream without a sound. Late May 2000, on what seemed like an ordinary afternoon in the Riverlands. A woman named Oot was herding ducks on a muddy strip of land as the waters rose. When she pushed her oar into the ground, it struck something strangely solid. She scraped the soil away and froze, a human mouth wide open, as if screaming in silence. She called for her neighbor, Mr. Nam Gia. The two of them knelt in the mud digging, until a face emerged, unmistakable. Ms. Tu Fung, the woman who had gone missing not long before. The way she was buried made everyone's skin crawl. She'd been buried upright, her body forced into a deep, narrow pit, as if the killer meant to turn her into some grotesque plant. No one had any doubts. Everyone knew Fung had gone to see the sorcerer Hai Tung and never returned. A holy shaman or a demon in human skin? Rewind to the mid-1990s. A man named Pham Van Tuan drifted into Dong Thap in a small wooden boat. He introduced himself as a healer, someone who knew medicine and charms. At first he seemed gentle, a vegetarian who treated the poor for free. The simple river folk respected him even more, eventually pulling together a riverside plot so he could build a small hut. But once he was established, Hai Tung began to show his strangeness. He boasted of practicing Tien Linh Khai, a dark ritual whispered about for generations. Rumor had it that to succeed, one needed human skulls, women's hair and pubic hair, even a virgin's blood. If perfected, the sorcerer would become invincible. Blades couldn't cut him, bullets couldn't pierce him. He could even summon wind and rain. It sounded absurd, but for the river communities of that time, fear was real. They obeyed his rules. Midnight only, one person at a time, no witnesses. And then, the women who came to him, some for illness, some for broken families, some chasing love charms or luck, began to disappear. Horrifying truths. Fung's disappearance was only the fuse. When police searched Hai Tung's hut, they found 3 human skulls are placed on an altar, polished and clean. A sealed jar filled with women's pubic hair. Jewelry and identification papers belonging to missing women. Expanding the search, police built a small embankment and pumped out the water around the hut. When they dug, 3 headless skeletons surfaced right under the floor. All of them were female. Their deaths followed the same pattern: drugged, raped, strangled with clothing, and then the skull taken. Bodies were buried around the house. The heads were boiled in cooking pots borrowed from neighbors, leaving behind gleaming white skulls to be worshipped for the Tien Linh Khai ritual. A confession and an ending with no magic. Arrested, Hai Tung first denied the murders, claiming the skulls came from a master on Nui Sam. But the evidence was overwhelming. He had to confess. He also revealed that his lover, Mrs. Tran Thi Thi, was an accomplice who helped lure victims, The 2002 trial became a national sensation. Crowds flocked to see it, not only out of outrage but also out of morbid curiosity. Could he really sink into the earth, not die as the rumors claimed? On the execution ground, Hai Tung still sneered, "You can't kill me. I will disappear into the earth." But when the gunshots cracked the air, no magic appeared. He fell like any other condemned man, buried in an unmarked grave. His lover and accomplice received life imprisonment. A warning that endures. Villagers burned Hai Tung's hut to the ground as if to erase the demon's trace. But the memory of the case can't be burned away. For Feng's mother, the pain lasted to the end of her days. Each mention of her daughter's name brought tears and choking grief. Hai Tung's tale is not just a murder case. It's a chilling reminder of the power of blind faith. The victims who went to him weren't stupid. They were desperate, craving a miracle to change their lives. And that desperation made them pray for a fanatical, cold-blooded man. Tien Lin Kai, embroidered as an amulet of immortality, was, in the end, only a mask for evil. And this case will forever remind us. Superstition can kill reason, kill hope, and ultimately, kill lives. The shaman Hai Tung fell to the firing squad, ending the delusion of Tien Lin Kai. But he wasn't the only victim. The trusting women, the people who yearned for a miracle to save their lives, all became victims of blind superstition. In the end, what he called Tien Lin Kai granted no power and no magic. It brought only death to the victims and to the man who practiced it. The lesson still stands today. Superstition can kill reason, kill trust, and kill lives. Remember this case, not to be afraid, but to stay clear-headed in the face of illusions dressed up as spirituality. Because sometimes what we think is a miracle is the very blade that leads us to our death. What do you think about this kind of magic in Vietnam and the blind beliefs people can fall into? Leave a comment and follow the channel to catch the latest videos.